Welcome to another edition of Breaking News brought to you by Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss the case of Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, or just Goodwill. Goodwill was decided at the GAO. In this case, the General Services Administration, or GSA, was renewing a lease with VVP, LLC, or VVP. The prior lease did not include custodial services, so the GSA acquired them from an Ability One contractor, Goodwill. Thus, the custodial services at that location were added to the procurement list. In the renewed lease, the GSA decided to obtain an all-encompassing service contract from VVP including custodial services. Goodwill assumed the custodial services would be procured directly from VVP because VVP requested a quote from them. However, shortly after submitting its quote, GSA informed Goodwill that it had no authority to direct VVP to use any particular contractor to perform the custodial services. Following that interaction with the agency, Goodwill filed a protest against the agency's actions. The GSA argued that the GAO lacked the authority to hear the case and that the protest was untimely. The protester countered that it filed a protest within 10 days of discovering the statutory violation. In addition, the GSA argued that whomever is chosen to provide custodial services to the courthouse is a matter that should be dismissed because the complaint relates to a potential subcontract, or it is a matter of contract administration. Lastly, instead of asserting its actions complied with the statutory and regulatory requirements, GSA asserted that the award of a lease for real property is not subject to the requirements of the JWOD Act and its implementing regulations. En route to finding against the agency, the GAO rejected the following. 1. GSA's assertion that it lacked jurisdiction. 2. The timeliness argument because the vendor filed within 10 days of the discovery of a violation. And 3. The assertion that the issue at hand was a contract administration issue given the implementing regulations of the JWOD Act. Lastly, the GAO stated that it has previously explained that similar procurement statutes and regulations apply to the acquisition of real property leasehold interests because a real property lease is a contract. The GAO sustained the protest against the agency because all items on the procurement list must be purchased from Ability One, even when the services on the procurement list are included as a part of a larger services contract. Now let's address a few of the lessons learned from this protest. They include 1. Services on the procurement list are mandatory. 2. JWOD compliance is not an issue of contract administration. And 3. When the services are procured as an aspect of a larger services contract, the contracting activity shall require the contractor to procure the products or services on the procurement list from the Ability One contractor. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discussed the Goodwill case and the sole source concepts related to the authorized or required by statute exception. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, they are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.